is Alcohol Podcast, and I'm Sena.
And I'm Sena.
And in this episode, we have Christian, who's a faculty member at TUJ. Tell us about him, Sena.
Well, he's actually a former TUJ student, so he's a TUJ alumni, and now he works for the OSSE as the Student Activities Coordinator, and I just think he's a lot of fun to be around. I think he's like super energetic, and I think he's going to have a lot to say today. So yeah, I'm really excited for this episode.
Yeah, so let's get into this, probably one of the funniest episodes we'll have. Let's go.
Christian, hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
So first of all, before we even get into it, can you give me 3 words to tell me how are you feeling right now?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
Sleepy, tired, and hungry. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Those are great.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a day, huh? I'd say probably grateful, content, and let's say optimistic for this podcast.
That's nice. I appreciate that. That's great. So before we get into it, first of all, do you mind giving us like a brief, short introduction? What do you do? Where are you from? How did you end up in Japan? Maybe let's start there.
Absolutely. So, I'm Puerto Rican with a hint of crazy.
Nice. I like that.
I'm just kidding. I was born in Puerto Rico. My whole family's Puerto Rican, but I grew up in the United States. My dad was military, so I traveled a lot. But I lived in Florida the most, so I guess I call that home.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Whether I want to or not.
Floridian.
Right?
Nice.
Florida man. Coming at you. And yeah, basically, I
When did you
it's
come to
going
Japan?
cut out right now.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna cut this out. Yeah. So basically, I grew up in a military family. I traveled a lot. After I graduated from high school, I was like, well, I don't want to go to college because I don't want to go into debt. I didn't know what I wanted to study, so I was like, there's no point going to college if I don't know what I want to study.
Right.
Because then it's, why go into debt, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, my dad was military, so I'll join the military. So I ended up joining the Air Force.
Oh, cool.
I did that for 6 years. I actually ended up getting out because I broke my neck.
Oh, no. Oh, geez.
Yeah, so I ended up getting medically retired from the military. I was a linguist while I was in, so that was pretty cool.
Oh,
Flew
fun.
around doing secret scroll stuff.
Nice.
So that was pretty interesting. After my, medical recovery and all that stuff, I actually worked for Disney for about 2 years. Did some pretty fun stuff with the mouse. And then...
That's like a fun job. But the way you said it's really funny. So wait, you worked at Disney for how long?
It was off and on. I first started in security.
Okay.
Because it was just the easiest to get in with my military background.
Right.
Then I worked in entertainment and photography. I was actually a photographer for Disney for a little while.
Oh, cool.
So it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Made a lot of really cool friends along the way. And then after a while, I was just kind of like, okay, well, what do I do with life? Do I keep working here? Do I explore other options?
Yeah.
And so, being a vet, I had, the GI Bill. So I was like, well, maybe I should go back to school.
Right.
Now that I have a better idea of the things I'm interested in. At the time, I was working as a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I wonder what I can do with media and media production and things like that.
Yeah.
But I was like, the coolest thing would be to get out of the U.S. and study abroad right now.
Yeah.
And so I started looking at options, like what schools are out there that I can use my GI Bill for, right?
Did you consider any other countries other than Japan?
I was looking at Europe originally.
Oh, okay.
But I had been to Japan twice beforehand, just as a tourist before.
Right.
And I was like, I was looking again after looking around Europe a little bit. I was like, let's see if there's anything in Japan that pops up.
Oh, okay.
And so I started looking up, and everything was language schools. And I was like, I mean, Japanese is cool, but I was like, I don't want to study that for a career, right?
Yeah.
And so, and my mind was like, if I do a language school, I'll be there, and then after that, I leave.
Right.
So then what's the point of learning Japanese if I'm not going to stay in Japan?
Right. You knew you wanted to stay long term already, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yes and no.
Okay.
I was kind of open to both.
Oh, okay.
And in my mind, it was like, well, if I study something I want to do, it doesn't matter where I'm at, right?
Right.
As long as I get to do what I like.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, again, then I started looking up, different things, and Temple popped up. It just happened to pop up, on my search, especially with the GI Bill. That was the big thing. It was like I could use it here.
Yeah, there's a lot of students who are here, like with the GI Bill.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I was like, well, let's apply, see what happens. Let's start the communication, right?
Right.
And so, things just kind of worked out. I ended up being a communications major.
Nice. Fellow communications major.
Yeah,
Love to see
comm
it.
squad.
I know, Come Squad. That should be a thing. We should actually make it a thing.
Right. So, and it kind of went from there. I came to Japan. I did 3 years here because I already had, a few credits
Mhm.
under the belt. I graduated actually last year
Oh,
in
nice.
2022,
Okay.
spring semester.
Nice.
Um,
I didn't know you were such a recent graduate. That's
yeah,
wild. I feel
yeah.
like you give such like seasoned TUJ energy that like in my mind you'd been here for like working for like quite some time. But that's crazy. I didn't know
Yeah.
it's just been a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's the funny thing because when I was a student, I worked as a student worker
Okay.
quite a bit. I did all kinds of things. I worked for OSSE. I used to do a bunch of different activities and things. I would do the takeovers on all the trips and stuff.
Oh, fun.
I
Wait,
worked.
the takeovers meaning like you actually led the events or
No,
like
no,
you...
no, no. It was like the social media stuff.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, 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 kind of like taking pictures on the trips, doing like the Instagram stories on the trips to kind of
Nice.
showcase like, hey, look, like, this is what we're doing on
Right.
the trip, right? Try
Yeah.
to like the people that can't attend, they can attend vicariously through me,
Right, right, right. That's nice.
So it was kind of cool, doing that, doing a few other things, around campus, and that helped me to kind of to get to know a lot of the staff, faculty, all the different teachers and things.
Yeah.
And in the end, it kind of helped me to get this position that I am in now in OSSE.
Right. And was that like you already knew graduating that that's what you wanted to do, or did that kind of come up?
It was an option.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know. I've always been kind of like a go with the flow kind of guy.
Yeah. I could tell by
Um,
the way your life trajectory like kind of
yeah,
goes. But that's the best
yeah,
way to
it's
go, you know?
literally been all over.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just kind of worked out really well. I had been talking to the dean. I'd been talking to JR in the comms department.
Right.
We'd been talking about esports because they were just starting to develop that. That was, an option on the table at first.
Yeah.
And kind of working with JR and all that. And then, Lewis downstairs in OSSE, he's the, director of student engagement
Yes.
and my boss.
Yeah, right.
One of my bosses, right? And so he kind of reached out to me and was like, hey, are you interested in engagement?
Oh, nice.
And because, I had worked a lot of things for him, I'd done a bunch of activities.
Right.
And, I just developed a really good friendship with him and the rest of the team. I had worked with Tomoko, who's also part of the team. I had talked to Miki a few times. And I knew a lot of the OSSE people in general, Paul and Nicole. I had
Yeah.
talked to them all the time.
Right.
Rumiko. I was actually in talks with her to do some dorm, stuff.
Oh, cool.
And so I kind of had, I already had an awareness of all of them.
Yeah.
And they already knew who I was.
Right.
And so when it came down to it, Lewis was like, are you interested? And I was like, let's talk.
Yeah.
Because after I graduated, it was like, well, once you graduate, you're not on the student visa anymore.
Right.
And I didn't have a job. So I was like, I got to go back to the US. So I actually ended up leaving Japan.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, last summer.
For how long?
For half a year.
Okay.
Yeah. I left in, I think, July, end of July.
Okay.
And then I ended up coming back in January this year.
I see.
So the very end of January was when they managed to bring me back.
Oh, nice.
So right after I had left, we actually started kind of back and forth talking,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
things just kind of worked out in the end.
That's so cool.
And they brought me back.
I feel like there's probably some students out there who like would be so thrilled to have that kind of a, like post-graduation still working at TUJ kind of story.
Yeah.
Because I know there's probably a lot of students who are super involved just like you were back when they were students as well.
Right.
And like knowing that that's even a possibility to be able to like work for TUJ, possibly, maybe, if it
Yeah.
works out for them,
For sure.
is super cool. But I think you did it right, which is by just like, making connections with the people who are already working on campus, working as a student yourself,
Right.
and then figuring out how you can,
Right.
kind of continue that trajectory with TUJ. So
Yeah,
that's so
definitely.
cool.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to know, so with, now you work at OSSE, what's your official position technically, like your official title, if you will?
So I am a student engagement coordinator.
Okay, cool. And what does that entail? What kind of stuff do you kind of, I guess, cover or deal with?
So originally, when I was a student, right, they used to be called activities coordinators.
I see.
And actually, when I first came in, that was my official title. It was activities coordinator. Just recently, because Lewis became the director of student engagement, we kind of had a change from activities coordinators to student engagement coordinators. And so this is because student engagement does more than just activities.
Right.
Before, it was just activities
Yeah.
when it was just Lewis and him doing his thing.
Right.
But as the team has been growing, we've kind of branched out, and now we're doing a whole lot more than just activities. This includes things like student government. Now we have TUJ program board.
Oh, cool.
Tomoko does a lot of stuff with LEAD.
Yeah.
For all the diversity here on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And so we cover more than just activities now.
Right.
And so the new title now embraces that, right?
Mm.
It's not just activities, we're student engagement
Right.
to cover that engagement, right?
That's awesome. And what kind of stuff would you say in terms of let's go for activities first. What kind of activities would you say are available on campus? What are the kind of things that I guess if a student was interested in participating in activities, what kind of stuff could they, like potentially sign up for?
So there's all kinds of activities.
Okay.
and as a former student, I encourage all of you out there to please take advantage of activities. It'll blow your mind how many people that I talk to. I used to talk to when I was a student, and I talk to now as a staff here at TUJ, that people just aren't aware, of these
Right.
activities.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly because they don't read emails.
Right.
Some people just don't read emails. and that's fine. Again, I was there. I understand that.
Yeah, I know that's like your big pet peeve, isn't it? The email thing.
Yeah.
I get it though, because I mean, obviously I'm a student too, so I see the emails. But now I think of you, I'm like, okay, Christian would probably want me to see this email, so I'm gonna go through it at least once, make sure to read all the details. But the emails basically is where you detail everything that that the activity entails, right? Like what kind of events are happening,
Right.
the dates, how to sign up, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the semester, we send out, the whole list of everything that there is to do, this coming semester. Once that all gets sent out, it's like, hey, here's the procedure on how you sign up for activities.
Right.
Here's all the activities you can attend.
Yeah.
And it goes from there, right?
Can you give us a sneak peek of what kind of stuff? I know you probably can't divulge what's like next semester stuff, but maybe
Right.
an idea of what this past semester's
Yeah.
activities
So,
were?
yeah, I mean, we could talk about everything that's passed, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because the new stuff is top secret.
Right.
Gotta keep that element of surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of we try to give a variety of activities, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do workshops, we do day trips, we do overnight trips.
Oh, nice.
And we try to have like a healthy batch of each, right?
Okay.
And we also try to change it up to like, okay, there's certain things that you can do in Tokyo anytime, right?
Right.
There's certain places you can go around Tokyo anytime. So
Mhm.
we try to break out of that mold
Right.
and give students experiences that they won't typically get or be able to do on their own.
Yeah.
Or if they did on their own, it would be significantly more expensive. Whereas compared to us, TUJ pays for a lot of that.
Right.
And it kind of makes it easier to do certain things that you wouldn't be able to do
I
per se
see.
outside of TUJ.
Mm-hmm.
For example, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have, this semester alone, we have one that a lot of people have been asking for. We've done it in the past, but for a few semesters it went away because of the COVID things.
I see.
Disney, right?
Right.
So
Which you're familiar with.
right. Going back to see my old boss.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, was it actually the Disney in Japan?
Not
that you-
here.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I used to work at Disney World in Florida.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah,
okay. I see.
yeah. But it's only one mouse, right?
Right.
So,
funny. So so are you saying that Mickey Mouse was your boss? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't catch that. That went right over my head.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, so Disney is one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, is it Disney Sea or what's the other
Both.
one?
So
both.
actually, we got tickets for both.
Okay.
And actually, students that applied were able to choose which park they wanted to go to.
Ah, I see.
So Disneyland was the popular choice this
Ah,
time, which is
okay.
surprising because I think Disney Sea is special.
I've only ever been to Disney Sea, so
Really?
yeah, I'm biased. I prefer the one that I've been to, but I've heard that Disneyland is quite nice too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it depends, I guess.
Disneyland here is it's almost the same as Disneyland anywhere else.
Right.
Disneyland.
Mhm.
And then of course Magic Kingdom in the U.S. Right.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
that's getting into semantics.
Specifics,
but-
yes. Clearly, you're knowledgeable.
Disney Sea, I love it because it's unique to Tokyo. They've got special rides, and it's just unique
Yeah.
to Tokyo.
Right.
But that's a trip we're doing here. This semester we also did the Kumano Kodo Trail.
Okay.
We went to very big spots along Kumano Kodo, which is again something that you generally wouldn't either know about or B, go on your own, right?
What is the Kumano Kodo?
So the Kumano Kodo is an ancient pilgrimage
Okay.
that runs through one of the peninsulas. I don't remember the name. So it's basically south of Kyoto, Osaka.
Okay.
It's that peninsula there in Wakayama Prefecture.
Okay.
And so the Kumano Kodo runs from the east to the west.
Right.
Or west to east, sorry.
West to east. Okay. Okay.
Well, depending on the trail. The main trail goes west to east.
Okay.
It's got like 4 different trails. Each goes from different directions. But we covered kind of the major points along that trail, along with Koyasan, which is, one of the most important parts of, it's like one of the most important pilgrimage spots for Buddhism.
I see.
Because that's where one of the sects of Buddhism originated from.
Oh, cool.
And so we got to visit that. That's where the famous Okunoan Cemetery, it's the largest cemetery in Japan, is.
Oh, wow.
They have legendary samurai literally,
Oh, wow.
resting there. It's the coolest thing. And so we got a lot of free time to kind of explore those areas. We do workshops, taiko workshop, plastic food making workshop.
Oh, cool.
You get to make udon, things like that.
Oh, fun.
This semester we also went out to Mount Fuji with Matt, the dean.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So it was really cool. We kind of get to experience all these different things where it's just like, it's a taste of Japan. But with TUJ, right? You get to go out with your friends, you get to go out with us, and you get to do workshops, little things that you generally wouldn't get to do on your own.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, and I honestly, admittedly, I've never done an activity at TUJ, which is really sad to say. I know. I'm sure you would not be proud of me, but that's okay because I'm curious to know.
Always proud.
Oh, thank you. But no, I'm curious to know what is the process like for actually signing up? Because I think that's the thing that's always intimidated me. I'm like, probably I'm not going to get a chance to actually get a spot. I know it's super popular. There's always students trying to go for all the different events. But what would you say is the best way to secure a spot, or at least to sign up and know that maybe you have a chance of getting a spot for one of the activities?
Right. And it's funny that you bring that up because, there's this rumor, right, about activities that you just said, why even bother trying to sign up because everything sells out instantly.
Right.
So that's how it was when I was a student. The activities would drop, all of them would drop at the same time, and everything would sell out immediately.
Right.
2-3 minutes in, everything's gone. And so a lot of people got to the point where it's just like, there's not even that. Why do I want to wake up at 7 a.m. when things are going to be sold out anyway? I can just
Right.
sleep in an extra hour or two and
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't matter anyway. So we tried to fix that, right? This year we incorporated a new system. We're using a new website.
Okay.
Where instead of before where it was like all the activities were listed, you just basically click on all the ones you want and you register. That made it hard for people to be able to get anything.
Right.
Now we have a new system where you can make an account ahead of time. You plug in all of your information, your name, your email, your preferences. Do you have dietary restrictions? You can put all that information in.
Oh, great.
So on the day of registration, you don't have to submit any of that because it's already in your account.
Right.
All you have to do is log into your account, 7 a.m. drops, all the activities pop up, and you select your activity. With that said, before you used to be able to select all the activities, like I just said, right? Now we made it so that you can only do one at a time.
I see.
You can sign up for as many activities as you want,
Right.
assuming they're available,
Yeah.
but you do one at a time. So you click on, say, I want to go to Disney Sea. I click Disney Sea, and then, okay, all my stuff is populated already.
Yeah.
I put in, my credit card info, boom, zoom, registered. And then I can go register again. Now I'm going to go try for Kumano Kodo.
I see.
So now I go, oh, it's available, still available, boom. And then, again, rinse and repeat, right?
I see. Okay.
Before, you didn't have that, right? Now the new system allows you to do one by one. And for some people, of course, maybe that's, very mendokusai, right? It's like, I got to do more work, right?
Right.
But we think in the grand scheme of all things, it benefits more students that way.
Yeah.
And it opens up the possibility for more students to be able to apply for what they want to. We recommend pick the one you want the most first and then go from there, right?
Right.
But also a little thing that the system has now that we didn't have before as well was sometimes you'd be registering, right? You'd be typing in your information.
Yeah.
And when you hit submit, people have already bought it out, right?
Oh, I
Things
see.
would have already sold out.
Right.
We don't have that problem anymore either because now when you hit that register button, assuming, the cap hasn't already been met, you have 10 minutes as of that moment you hit that register button, to start, putting in your information, to get your credit card information. That's 10 minutes you have
Where
for
you're
that spot is reserved for you.
I see.
So as long as 7 a.m. you go click on that activity that you want,
Right.
as long as you go for that one that you want, you have a spot right there. And it's
Right.
reserved for you for 10 minutes.
Oh,
If in
great.
10 minutes you haven't, of course, finished your reservation, then it drops you and it opens up to anybody, right? So then somebody else can now get a spot, right? And that's just for the people that, maybe they considered it. They're like, change of heart. I don't want to register. And they, close the tab. In 10 minutes, that spot opens up again for somebody.
I see.
So a little pro tip here, right, is, hey, say, you get on 7 a.m., the activity you want, it already, capped out. There's, that many amount of people that are already reserving. Come back in 10 minutes.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
Because there's a good chance that some people just clicked it and they're like, maybe not,
Right. So you could sleep an extra 10 minutes. You could wake up at 7:10 instead of 7 a.m.
If you want to take that risk, then take the risk. But
also
that's a good, because you can come back.
Right.
Right. It doesn't mean that you lost a chance.
Yeah.
Because people might open up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, a new thing that we're also incorporating is refunds.
Oh, great.
Before, we used to have a no refund policy,
I see.
where when you register, you can't cancel, you can't refund. Now you can cancel. Now you can get refunds in a certain time window,
Okay.
right? Because of course on our end, there's certain registrations we have to do, there's certain info we have to provide to vendors and things. So we do have our deadlines internally, but now we're trying to make it as helpful to the students as possible, in the sense of, okay, look, you have until this day to cancel something. Say something comes up and now you suddenly can't do that activity, right? So now you could do that, right? You can cancel that, and that also opens up the possibility for now someone else to take that spot, right?
Right.
Someone that really wanted to.
And does that cancellation date actually depend on each activity? Like, it's not the same for each one,
It will
right?
vary for every activity,
Okay.
for sure.
I see.
And so that's where reading that email will come in handy.
Right.
We'll also have it on the big flyers that we put around campus that show all the different activities.
Oh, great.
If you don't ever see the email, you can always swing by OSSE. We always have it right outside of the OSSE office on the glass. All the activities for the semester, their deadlines, information, the price, all of that.
Oh, great.
So all that information is always there, or you can just come talk to us.
Yeah, because I was going to say, can people just barge into your office and be like, hey, I want to, I don't know, sign up for this activity, but I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, great. Okay, good.
Yeah. And so at least when it comes to registrations, all that's done online. And if you come asking us, hey, can we register? We're going to direct you to the online.
Okay.
If you need help with, going through the process, then you can come talk to us.
Okay, great.
We're absolutely open to helping with that. It's not super complicated. Again, really, it's just you go onto the website that we provided. If you Google TUJ activities, it'll take you to the main activities page. There's a link that takes you to the TUJ portal, and then from there it'll take you to the website. So then you just make an account and you're good to go. 7 a.m. on whatever day activities drop, you just sign in and you register. You go
Amazing.
boom, 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 boom.
I can tell you've definitely said this piece right here several times, because I feel like you know exactly each step. Like in your mind, I can tell you see the homepage and you see exactly each button to click, and
Yeah,
you've explained it to students so many times. You're like, I don't know, like a master Jedi or something. You just see it all.
Yeah,
That's
we've
amazing.
done it a few times for
Yeah,
sure.
I could tell. I could tell.
Another thing I wanted to bring up is that another thing that we have too is waitlists.
Okay.
We didn't have that before either. Now the new system, say again, all the activities have filled up, right? You can hit that waitlist button, sign me up for the waitlist. Once you get added to that waitlist, the instant a spot opens up, you get an email.
Great.
That email, for 1 hour, that spot is open to you,
Okay.
right? Of course, it's going to go down the list, so it goes priority from the top down. Every hour, it goes to the next person.
I see. Okay.
So assuming, the person above you doesn't take it, it opens up for you, right?
Right.
If you're the first one at the list, you're the first one to get that notification saying, hey, there's a spot that just opened up. It's yours if you want it for this hour.
Oh, great.
After that hour, the email goes to the next person.
So, so this is
And
when
now-
the checking the emails comes in, because you got to
And
be on
then-
top of it, right?
But the thing here is those two people have the option.
Oh, they do.
They,
Okay.
They both have the ability. After another hour, the third person gets an email, and those three people have the chance to snatch that spot,
I see.
right? So they don't lose it. It's just it goes down the list, and it starts increasing who can get that spot.
I
Boom,
see.
boom, boom. And now once that entire, wait list has been emailed,
Mm-hmm.
after that last hour, then it opens up to anybody
I
if the
see.
wait list people haven't taken it.
I see.
So it's kind of nice
Yeah.
because again, it gives priority to the people that are on wait lists.
Mm-hmm.
But it also doesn't limit who can take that spot, right?
Right.
It opens it up after a certain amount of time to everybody. So if the people on the wait list are like, we thought about it, we don't care anymore,
Right.
then it's not exclusively just sitting there, rotting away. No one
Right.
takes it.
Right.
It opens up to anybody.
That's great.
But the people that wanted it the most first get that priority,
I
which is
see.
good, which is, again, something we never had before.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I'm just picturing, I know myself personally, even if I probably am like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to wake up 7 a.m., Disney Sea, yeah. I'll probably like sleep in until 9 and then be like, oh crap. And then go on the website and be like, oh no, my goodness, the spots, they're all sold out. But then now that I know that there's a waitlist thing, you could just sign up for the waitlist and then wait until that spot opens up if someone drops it or whatever, right? And then get a chance to still go, which is great. That's awesome. That's great. And honestly, that encourages me a lot because I know, like, I've seen some of the list of activities that you guys have going and they look really awesome. And I feel like, now that I know that at least I have a chance, that makes me feel a little bit better, which is great. I'm also curious to know about, because I know this is a thing that you deal with as well, which is clubs, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to clubs, what can you tell me? Because like personally, I have a lot of ideas for clubs. I've had a lot of people come to me with ideas of clubs they want to do. And I'm always like, I don't even know what the process is like. Where do you even begin? Where do you start? What would you tell people who come to you and are like, hey, I want to start a club?
It's easy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I would tell anybody that wants to start a club, do it, right? As a former student, I had so many times where I was like, I want to start this club. I want to start this club. And I never did, right? And it's unfortunate because now I'm kicking myself. I'm like, oh man. But it's been cool because actually some of the clubs that I really wanted to exist now exist.
Oh, great.
Because I had, either friends that started it or like-minded people here, at campus that decided to start it. Shout out to hiking club, y'all the best.
Nice.
Yeah, and running club, that's actually really good too. We actually had 2 study abroad students that just started running club this semester.
Oh, nice.
And so they're passing the torch on to other people because, study abroad.
So even study abroads can make clubs?
Absolutely.
That's
so
wild.
So basically all you need to start a club here at Temple University Japan campus is 8 people, right?
Okay.
A solid idea for what your club is that hasn't already been executed and is a current club.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's
Okay.
quite literally it. And of course, you have to fill out the form and submit all the info. So you need 8 people to exist. When it comes to like funding and things, you need 10 people. But we talk about that once you guys form a club, and we discuss all the different things.
Who do the 8 people need to be? Could it be anybody or?
So it can consist of any undergrad students here at TUJ, again, either Japan Admit or study abroad.
Okay.
It can be any AEP student, and it can even be Showa Women's University students.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So it's a pretty open book when it comes to, club membership.
Yeah.
The only thing that we require when it comes to actual club members is say you have, a whole group of, say, like Showa Women University, right, or AEP. We want at least 2 Temple University students to be the club leaders.
Okay.
That is a requirement.
I see.
The 2 leaders have to be TUJ students
Right.
specifically, whereas the rest members can be any of the above, right?
Okay, great.
So
That's amazing. So as long as you got 8, what happens if you make a club of 8 people and then maybe one person's like, nope, don't want to do it anymore? Does that become like,
grab a friend.
Okay, just grab a new person, just be like, come on down, we got pizza.
So I mean, we have such a diverse student body.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like if you just go out and you ask people, hey, are you interested in being part of this club?
Mm-hmm.
People will bite, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's the clubs and activities I will always say are the easiest way to make friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because they are all about student engagement. It's all about interacting with other people that like the things you like.
Yeah.
And so I mean, the big thing is that those students have to be current students, right? For this semester. So go find 8 people.
Yeah. I feel like it's feasible. But I'm curious to know, what about the frequency of the club itself? Like, is there like a requirement for like it needs to be this many times a week or this many times a month or?
So we leave that all up to the leaders,
Oh,
club
great.
leaders.
Okay.
Student organizations are completely student run. We don't go in there and tell you what you can and can't do. Of course, there's there's guidelines, of course, of what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
But that's the common sense stuff, right? Like, don't go do bad stuff. Don't
Right.
do, don't do this or that, right?
Destruction club.
It's,
No, I'm
it's
kidding.
usually stuff that goes along with, the student, guidelines, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the ideas of clubs that you can have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we have space club, we have a running club, we have a hiking club, we have dance club,
Oh,
we have
cool.
all kinds of sports clubs, we have music club,
Yeah.
we have two different kinds of music club,
Oh, really?
well, we used to, I guess, because we used to have the K-pop club.
I
Um,
see.
but there's the Latin culture club. Like we have all the different culture clubs. As a Latino, Latin culture club.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out.
Nice.
But we have a variety of kinds of clubs, and we don't limit that, right? We, uh, we want you guys to make clubs.
Yeah.
We want you to create groups of your interests, to bring people together, to do things that make you happy to be here, right?
Yeah.
That help you make friends here on campus in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And you said it's possible to also get funding for clubs after you reach a certain number of members,
Absolutely.
right? Okay.
So the way funding works, it's also pretty simple. But basically, after the first semester, starting the second semester, clubs are eligible to receive funding. This funding, again, they have to have 10 members to receive funding. And it's very, very simple. Basically, I send out emails telling you, hey, guys, the funding deadlines are coming up. Submit your funding requests. Clubs can submit requests to receive funding up to a certain extent. And basically, the way it works is once all the funding requests are in, we have a little committee that sits down and divvies out, okay, these clubs get this club gets this, based off of what budget we have.
I see.
We do our best to accommodate as many clubs as we can,
Yeah.
based on budget and all that. And usually it works out really well. And we are able to provide clubs with that funding. And it's great. I mean, like, again, sports clubs, right? Like, we don't want you guys going out to buy, certain balls that you need to play, right? So it's like,
Right.
when you put that, that funding request, we can provide things like that.
Awesome.
Tennis, we get them, tennis balls. We got them nets recently, like,
Oh, fun.
because we had, some issues where we needed new nets.
Right.
It's the same thing with, our clubs here. We just had Space Club and Book Club did a collaboration event where they did a fan fiction writing contest, right?
Oh, cool.
And so they submitted a funding request for that to get funding for prizes. They did a little ceremony. I think even Matt was part of that. The
Oh, really?
dean. I think he was one of the judges.
That's cool.
So it was cool. They did all this stuff, and they were able to receive funding for that. They didn't pay anything out of pocket.
That's great.
And the way we do it is either, again, when it comes to funding, either A, we can purchase you items, and then you don't have to worry about it, assuming it was approved. And then if it is approved, also students can, they go buy things out of their own pocket, and then they get reimbursed.
I see.
So it's a good benefit to have for our clubs. Of course, there's a few rules that go along with what you can and can't buy.
Right.
What kinds of events and things you can hold and what they apply for. But when it comes down to it, we want our clubs to use that funding, right? Because that's
Right.
money for the clubs to use.
Yeah.
And if it can further the aim of the club, the goal of that club, then we're all for it. Right?
Awesome. And if you have let's say I have a club idea, which I do, I have quite a few actually. Would I be able to, let's say, come by your office and just, I don't know, chit chat with you about whatever club I'm interested in doing and find out if it's, yeah? Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have some. I will be in your office. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
And again, we're OSSE. So OSSE is, for anyone out there that's listening, OSSE is absolutely open door policy all the time, 9 to 5:30.
Okay. Yeah.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30. Our door is wide open. Come in. Any questions you have. For us, engagement, if you have activity questions, if you have diversity questions, if you have club questions, anything related to any of that, we're down to talk. We always have somebody in the office that is willing to talk, sit down, and discuss, what options you have, what's available. When it comes to clubs, come talk to me. I mean, I love the idea of making a new club. Again, I was there. I just never took the step to actually make them. But it's great to see that it's happening. And now that I'm in charge of it, like it's really cool to kind of be there and be able to push students like, hey, make this happen. Like, this is really cool. You can do it,
Yeah.
And it's as simple as this, boom, boom, boom. That's it.
Yeah.
That's literally all you need. 8 members and have an idea that hasn't been done before, right? Or that
Yeah.
isn't currently done.
Right.
It could have been done before. But if it's, a new thing that's not happening right now, let's make it happen, And if you have an idea but you haven't solidified exactly your aim, your goal for the club, how you want to pitch it, how you want to promote it, come talk to me, because I'm all about talking about that, right? We can sit down, chat, open forum it, and we'll talk ideas.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's so cool. Thank you so much for all the advice, all the information. I truly appreciate it. And before we end, I want to do a quick little segment with you, actually, two of them.
Yeah.
But before we get into segments, actually, I want to ask you the question of the day, which is what is one thing that you would warn TUJ students about? Is there something in particular you can think of? Maybe if I'm a new student, I'm about to come to TUJ and I don't know, I want some interesting information about anything in particular. What kind of, thing would you warn TUJ students about?
Uh, Maybe not so much a warning as much as, well, I guess it would be a warning in the sense of don't be a shut-in, right?
Mm.
I mean, when I first got to Japan, I was, you know, I had done a lot before, right? I'm very extrovert. I like to meet people. I love to do new things, but I was still hit with culture shock, right?
Right.
Culture shock and just a different environment made me a bit of a shut-in, right? And so I didn't, for maybe the first semester or two, I stayed in my dorm. My first semester I was in a dorm. I stayed in a dorm room all the time. Luckily, I got to know a lot of the dorm people there.
Yeah.
But then, my second semester, I got my apartment, and I just didn't go out. And I regret it. That was 2 whole semesters that I didn't go out. I
Right.
didn't do things. And I got here 2019, pre-COVID, right?
Right.
2020, COVID hit. Everything went
Oh,
shut down. And
no.
I was like, wow, why didn't I go out and explore, right?
No.
So I'd say get out, right?
Yeah.
Go out, explore, get out of your comfort zone. There's so many cool things to see and do here in Japan. Tokyo alone, like you could talk to people that come as tourists. They could spend their entire vacation here in Tokyo alone because there's so much to do.
Right.
And that's just Tokyo.
Yeah.
Getting out of Tokyo, it'll blow your mind the cool things that you can see and do out there, and the ease of travel, which you can always come and talk to us about, which is another thing that I can talk about real quick. If you guys want to travel Japan, if you want to get around, come talk to us. We are pros at it. Me, Louis, Tomoko, we love traveling, and we will absolutely sit down, talk to you, give you the best options for travel, sweet deals on tickets and things like that you can do. TUJ students get Shinkansen discounts, like literally all kinds of things
Oh,
that
cool.
you may or may not know.
I didn't even
So
know
come
that.
talk to us.
So if we have, for example, like a trip idea too for like an activity or something, could we pitch it to you guys and be
Open door policy.
amazing.
Come on in.
Great.
We are completely open to ideas. The more the merrier. And honestly, again, that's something. There is a trip next semester that a few students have come to us and pitched, and we were like, how are we gonna make it happen? And we're making it happen,
Amazing.
and we're very excited. We know that one's gonna sell out instantly.
Nice.
I can't give you any tips, sorry,
But I mean, yeah, now you know the wait list and all that fun stuff, right?
But it's like we are absolutely open to ideas. If there's something that you're like, I could never do this on my own, maybe TUJ could make a trip out of it. Or if it's something you've done in the past that you think would be really cool, that you think your fellow students would really enjoy as a trip, we are all ears. Again, whether it's workshops, day trips, overnights, the sky's the limit, right? Absolutely.
Amazing.
We're totally. And then I guess another warning.
Yeah.
It's not so much a warning as much as a pro tip. Read your emails.
Right. That's Christian's MO. That's Christian's #1 message to the world. I feel like I've heard you mention the email thing probably a million times so far.
Yeah.
No, but that's fair because I feel like it is filled with information, you know?
Yeah.
And even though it seems annoying, it makes sense.
Yeah. Again, I've been there. I'm a former student. I know emails. You see TUJ and your mind instantly is like, next email.
Yeah.
I get it. It's fine. But I will say, in our emails from engagement and OSSE, we highlight the important things. So if you see the email from us, at least skim it, because you're going to see the highlighted, there's the main point. Okay, it's highlighted. There's the deadline. It's highlighted in bold red, text. You get the important points and you keep moving. That's enough for me. But yeah, it'll blow your mind how much information are in those emails.
Amazing. What about one other question I wanted to ask you, which is what's one TUJ hack you would tell students? Is that the hack? Is the email the hack?
Yeah, I probably would have
Oh,
said
okay.
that. That's a good one. Yeah.
I should have known.
TJ hack. I probably would say the email thing.
If you actually read the emails, they're actually helpful to you. That's
Surprise.
your hack, isn't it? Okay, gotcha.
That's so funny.
Cool, great. And then what about one last thing, which is the series which we'd like to do with you, which is a fun one actually. We've gotten some pretty great reactions to it, which is
Okay.
basically the this or that series that we've
Okay.
started. So basically, I'm going to give you an option of a few different things. Actually, no, sorry, I lied. Not the this or that. We're going to do favorite. What is your favorite? So basically, you need to fill in the blank and let us know what your favorite, whatever it is,
Okay.
is. Okay, so let's start with the first one. What is your favorite, and I know this is going to be a hard one for you. What is your favorite TUJ event or activity?
Oh man.
You got to pick one. Just one.
Oh. Man.
Whichever one comes to your head first.
I want to say Kumano Kodo because I've wanted to do it forever, but I feel like that's a cop out because I already talked about it.
Yeah.
And it was a semester. Okay. I will say I love if you get the chance. We usually do it in the summer semester. It's the river rafting in Nagatoro.
Ooh,
So we
okay.
go out to Nagatoro, and we go river rafting out there, and it is so much fun. And every time I've done it, because I did it multiple times, that's how much I liked it. Every time I did it, we had different weather. So I think the first time I did it, it was like it had just rained, and so the river was like very high, very crazy. It was super fun. And then the second time I did it, it was the exact opposite. It was like a very chill day. The river was chill, but it was still so much fun because everything was beautiful. You know, the colors, everything was very green and just it was gorgeous. And so you get to go river rafting, and they have the best barbecue after river rafting. It's literally just a ton of food. We never finish the food because there's so much food.
Nice.
So you just get a ton of like meat, vegetables, and things. And it's amazing. So I'd say that's probably a really good one. I'm sure there's so many good ones out there that.
I know. I'm putting you in a hot seat right now. I
But
know. I
we'll
am.
go with that for the flash round here.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Great. All right. Next one. What's your favorite place to eat in Sancha?
In Sancha, Farmer's Chicken, 100%.
Ah, yeah, that one's
I
a
love
classic.
Farmer's Chicken. There's also a ramen shop. What is it called? Is it Azuri Ramen?
I'm not familiar with the ramen shops.
Basically, go down the Shotengai here, all the way at the very end. Once you pass that little light on your left-hand side, there's a ramen shop. Go there.
All right, cool. And if they don't know where that is, then you should just come see
Yeah.
you in the office and be
Yeah,
like, "Where's the
yeah.
ramen
Come
spot,
talk
Christian?"
to me, because ramen is where it's at.
Nice.
Let's talk.
Awesome. All right. Next one is, what's your favorite neighborhood in Tokyo?
Actually, Afuri Ramen. Afuri, that's what it's called.
Oh, that's the name?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool.
All right,
All right.
sorry, your question.
No, that's cool. All right. What's your favorite neighborhood in Tokyo? Your favorite place to hang out?
Neighborhood. Oh man, there's so many cool spots. Definitely not Shibuya.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
So if you're a Temple student or you're an incoming Temple student, you're gonna get to know Shibuya very well.
Yeah.
Why you should go there and why you shouldn't go there.
Yeah. Yeah. All you need to do is go 2 stations down, and then you'll know exactly what's up there.
I don't know. I don't go to the east side very often. So I would probably say Ikebukuro is a go-to for me.
Oh, okay,
I like
cool.
Ikebukuro a lot.
Oh, nice. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Amazing. And what about your favorite Japanese meal?
Oh, ramen, 100%.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I'm a huge
you shoulda known.
ramen dude.
Based on the last answer.
I mean, my handle on everything is ramen pirate. So.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah, I
awesome.
love ramen.
Amazing.
So.
What about your favorite anime?
Anime, One Piece all the way. So
I've heard that you're the One Piece guy on
all
campus.
yeah. I think they. So we just had the Halloween party here. Shout out to student government and program board, because it was awesome. And so of course at Temple University we dress up because school spirit. We gotta have fun, right? Halloween. So I actually came as Monkey D. Luffy, which is really
Oh,
fun.
nice.
So
That's a fun one.
yeah, if you ever want to talk One Piece,
Swing by your office.
let's go.
Nice. Lastly, we have now this one we're going to go through it extremely quick.
Okay.
This is specifically for you because somebody told me, they were like, you know what? I think Christian would be the perfect person to do this with.
Okay.
A Gen Z slang test.
Oh,
We're
man.
going to quiz you really fast.
I'm not Gen Z though. I'm a millennial.
I know you're a
Oh,
millennial.
man.
Exactly. That's the whole point. We're supposed to, make sure, because you see students all the time. I'm sure you
Okay,
hear these slangs
okay.
around. If you don't know them, it's totally cool. Just be
Okay,
like, pass. And then we'll let you know what it is.
So
maybe
what
at
am
the
I
end.
doing? Explaining?
No. So if you know it, you just say, yep, I know that one. It's this. Or,
Okay,
yeah. If not, though, you can just say pass. And we'll get to the next one.
All right. Let's see.
All right, here we go. First one, glow up.
It's like man, now I can't explain. Hold on. Glow up is like you were trash and now you're popping.
Exactly. Amazing. Perfect. All right. Next one. No cap. What does no cap mean?
No cap. It's like, duh, bruh. Right?
No.
No. Oh, okay. I don't know. I
We'll pass
figured
that
like,
one.
yeah. No cap, right?
No. We'll let you. No
alright.
cap actually means like you're not lying.
What?
Yeah, it means you're not lying.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm out on
Yeah,
that one.
you were close. It's all good. You're
That was
close.
not close, but
Trying to make you
I
feel
appreciate
better.
you.
All right, next one is Delulu. You know what Delulu
I got
means?
nothing on
No?
that. No, I have not heard that in my life.
Delulu
Like
basically
delusional? I don't know.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. So you could have guessed that one.
Okay.
All right,
I
next.
haven't heard that one, so that's new to me.
Okay, all right. Next one is Stan.
Stan. Oh yeah, I stan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh man, I know what it is, but yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
It's basically when you're a fan of something.
Yeah.
When you really like it.
yeah.
All right, we'll give you a
Stan
half a
fan,
point on
yeah.
that one, maybe.
Yeah,
All
half a
right.
point.
Next one is now this one is an abbreviation. Okay, let's see if you can get it. IFYKYK.
If you know, you know.
Exactly. Nice. That was good. Wow, that was fast too. Okay, next one is sending me. When you say something is sending me. Oh wow, that's sending me.
Oh man, I know I heard this one. It's like, bro, you sending me.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, oh man, what? It's like you like I don't know how to describe, man.
I know we're putting you in the hot seat. Sending me is when. Do you want me to tell you?
yeah, go for it.
All right, it's basically
you got
when-
the description, so it's
Exactly.
gonna be better. You say it.
It's when something's really funny. Basically,
Okay,
it's like, oh, it's so funny. It's sending
Yeah,
me.
Yeah,
All right.
I knew that.
This one's not that popular, but you know. All right. Next one is living rent free. What does it mean when you say something is living rent free?
Yeah, it's like, bro, you can take up all the space you want in my mind.
Exactly. Living rent free in your mind.
That
yeah.
one I know. Yeah.
All right. Next one is Riz. This one's a popular one.
Yeah, that's like it's like popular with the girls. and
Exactly.
popular-
It's actually short for
bros.
charisma.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got the Riz.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
you
see
got
all,
it.
I see all the memes.
Nice. I see you.
For
Yeah,
that
I
one,
see
I-
you.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Next one is I'm weak.
Oh, it's like, yo, that's hilarious.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of similar to sending me. All right. So next one on the Gen Z slang list is bussin'. This is a really popular one.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the description. I know I've heard it.
When you say
Bro,
something is bussin'.
Bro, you're making me old.
That's the point.
You're
I'm
making me
kidding.
feel old, and I ain't even that old. Come on. Oh, it's like it's popping, yo.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like basically when something's really good,
It's
you're like,
cool,
this is
yeah,
bussin'.
it's
It's
like, yo,
amazing.
yeah.
Most of the time, people say it for food, like it's really good, it's
Yeah,
delicious, you know?
See, that's the thing. I know I've heard them. I don't know how to describe it.
I
Right?
know. That's why I put you in the hot seat because
Yeah.
I knew
No, it's
you
good,
probably
though,
heard
yeah.
them.
That
Now
one,
you
that
know.
one
Now
I
you
got. That
know.
one I got. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Next one is a W or an L.
Yeah. W is a win, and L's a loss. Like,
Yeah.
you suck. I don't know if I can say that, but like not good.
Exactly. Not good. Yeah. And that's it. Amazing. We'll put the score somewhere on the screen, whatever you got
Yeah,
over
not
here.
terrible. Not
Yeah, it's
terrible.
probably not that bad.
I'm just bad at explaining.
Exactly. Yeah. Fair enough. Awesome and amazing. And that's it. So, is there
Okay.
anything you'd like to maybe finish off with? Any last words, closing words you want to
Yeah,
share?
absolutely. So because we didn't talk too much about OSSE, I just wanted to kind of bring up for everybody out there, just so you know, OSSE, we're the Office of Student Services and Engagement. I mostly talked about engagement here, but I want you guys to know that OSSE is here for you, right? We are the Office of Student Services, right? And engagement. So everything we do for you guys. We are the place for you to go whenever you have any issues, right? Come talk to us. If you have personal life issues, if you have school issues, even if you just want to come talk to somebody, right? You're bored and you want somebody, you did something really cool and you want somebody to know about it. Come talk to us, right? We're here for you. We're here to talk about anything. OSSE, I as a student, I wish I had taken more advantage of it. Now that I work in the office, I know the things that we can do for students. And I don't think it gets promoted enough. And I want you guys to know that OSSE is one of the best resources you have here at TUJ. Whether it's financial aid, if you're living in the dorms, Nicole, she's the assistant dean of students. If you need her help, she's there for you. We do visa stuff. Anything that's life in Japan. We have student workers that work our front desk. If you get like a bill, you don't speak Japanese, and you need help, figuring out what to do with that, whether it's bills, mail, anything like that, we're here for that, right? You can come talk to us if you need to make a phone call to your landlord about something, right? Bring your phone, come talk to us. We can help you with that. So I just want to throw that out there that you guys have that support from us in OSSE. And we are always down to help. If we're not open, if that door is closed for any reason, email us, right? Send us an email to OSSE. If you literally just type in OSSE in your little thing, it'll pop up. If you type in engagement, we'll pop up, right? So email us, come talk to us. We are here for you. We want to support you in whatever way is possible. Me as a former student, I know what it's like being in that position. And there was things that I wish the school did. And there was things that I wish the school did, and I didn't know that they did, right? And if I would have known a lot of these things, and that was more my own ignorance, right? Emails that I perhaps did not read when I was a student, and that's cool. It happens, right? I understand that. We understand that, but we are here for you. So don't forget that. Come visit us. Even again, if you just want to come say hi, right? Let's talk One Piece.
Amazing. Great.
So OSSE is here for you.
Amazing. I don't think there was a better closing for an episode than that. That was epic. That was great. Thank you so much, Christian.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, that was a fun episode. You look like you had a lot of fun talking to him, Sena.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of fun. We talked about so many things, the different clubs, OSSE, the activities. I feel like I learned a lot in this episode, honestly.
You did. Okay, so check us out. Okay, so...
Should we keep playing?
Yeah, let's just do it again.
Well, that was a really funny episode. You look like you had a lot of fun there, Sena.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun talking to him. We talked about OSSE, student activities, different clubs, and I feel like I learned so much.
Make sure you check out future TUJ events. Check your emails. And follow us on Spotify and Instagram as well. And subscribe to us on YouTube.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Yay!
Bye-bye.